He broke up with me. He's seen someone else. We're no longer together. And you say that with so much emotion in your heart. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Grace with the Grit. I film about faith. I inspire people to be more productive, but today we're going to talk about something rather emotional, something I have titled How to Deal with Your Disappointment. Okay, have you been disappointed in the past? Do you currently feel you're being disappointed or let down? Now this affects every relationship we have around us, not just necessarily romantic relationships, your friendships, really everything else. You may just have been disappointed in the past, or you probably are currently being disappointed. So you may want to know, how best do I handle this, right? What do I do to feel better? What do I do to be myself again? So the first thing I would like us to do is ask yourself why you're sad. Okay? Ask yourself what was the root. So what caused it? What caused the breakup? What caused the separation? What caused the disappointment? You want to dig deep. Yeah, you do not want this, resurfacing in future. You want to make positive decisions for your future. You want to, pull out lessons from the past and engage into your future. So what went wrong? You may want, basically, whilst doing that, you would realize that you're able to learn a couple of things about yourself as well. The first thing you would learn probably is going to be your love language. Okay, so you may be this type of person who loves attention, you love to spend time with people, you like long phone calls as opposed to me who loves to text. You probably just love to be on the phone, and the person you were with, maybe your partner or whomever you held in such high esteem, did not see things the way you did, right? They're probably the type of person who felt like, I do not necessarily need to be on the phone for 2 hours. I don't want to do that. They may be the type of person who do not see things the way you do, basically, and that could have caused a strain on your relationship. That probably was the reason why you let them go, because you felt less appreciated in the relationship. You felt more committed and less appreciated. Now, thinking this through would help you realize actually what your love language is. Okay, you may have been that type of person who loves to hear, you're all mushy, you love when they tell you sweet stuff, but the person you were with did not see a reason to tell you they love you every day or that you're beautiful every day. They felt like you already know I love you, right? That could have caused a strain on your relationship. So my point here is dig deep to the root, to the cause. Why exactly are you sad? What is actually making you sad? Yeah, because the fact the person left you doesn't mean things ended up negatively. Yeah, they could have left you for the better. You could have done the living, as I said earlier, and you could have you probably already thought it through and decided that was the best way forward. But at this point, to help you heal, to help you deal with the disappointment, you need to think of what caused it, right? The second thing I would like us to remember when trying to heal from any form of disappointment is know your worth. Yeah, you're far more, you're worth far more than rubies. Remember that. Remember how expensive you are. Always place yourself in high esteem, especially in your mind. No one else is going to do that for you. No one person is that perfect complement for one other person. I always say this to us ladies, there is no one man for you. Okay, so even before you went into that relationship, before you became such close friends with that person, you were worth something, right? You were a person of your own, you were responsible, and now that you're far away from that person, remember, try to remind yourself, these were the good things, all the many good things you actually did, things you achieved even before you met that person. So I do not think things should change just because they left you. If things change in your life drastically because someone has left you, then I personally, if you ask me, I would say the fault is yours. You shouldn't let anyone, hold your joy so much so that you've tied your being around them. If that makes sense, do not give them too much of yourself. Do not give any human being on this earth too much of yourself. Okay, remember your worth, and this would definitely help you to heal. Now, when I was actually scrolling through my Facebook feed sometime during the week, I saw a post by Apostle Johnson Suleiman, and what he said was that people come into your life for three things. Okay, first he said for a reason. They come in for a season, and people come into your life for a lesson. So I just thought to share this with us. The first thing, for a reason. Tell yourself that there is a reason that thing happened to me. Even if it probably was an abusive relationship, or you probably felt less appreciated, whatever the case was, it was for a reason. So again, this should get you thinking, what were the things I completely loved about the relationship? What were the things I did not? Because again, that way you're able to pull out one or two things from the relationship. So remember that is the first thing. It is for a reason. It's not by mistake. Stop thinking your life is a mistake. Stop thinking, oh, I should never have met that person in my life. I would have been better off today. You met them for a reason. So remind yourself what probably has changed ever since you met them. Second, he said people come into your life for a season. This is obviously something, it's a fact if you ask me. At every stage in time, every individual is at a season in their lives. Okay, you have a baby, you're a toddler, you're primary, secondary, university, you get engaged, you get a job, you get married. These are seasons of the life of man. So you want to think, that was definitely a season in my life. And guess what? That season is over. It's time for you to grow out of it. It's time for you to move a notch higher. So if you ask me, I would say really you should mature up and remember that it was just for a season. Things are going to get clearer. Things are going to get better. And most importantly, that season is over. The third thing, I said is people come into your life for a lesson. So this is very crucial because it will determine how you face the rest of your life, right? It will determine how you handle future relationships, future friendships, how much of yourself you give to people, how devoted you are, how committed you are. So what was the lesson you picked out? It takes a lot of strength to realize this, let's be honest. You tend to say, oh, he was bad for me, or to always blame the other person. He did this excessively and I didn't like that, or he didn't do this at all and I wanted him to do that. But what were the lessons you learned? Put yourself in the equation as well. What were the things you didn't do enough, which the other person would have wanted as well? So that way you're able to pick out lessons for which that person came into your life. Okay, so really, just as we wrap up, this was just going to be a quick watch. This is really just what I wanted us to keep at the back of our minds. Okay, so you start by asking yourself why you're sad, because that way you're digging into the roots, right? You're all in your emotions and you have to be honest with yourself. Don't forget, you're not trying to please anyone. It's your life, okay? But you need to be honest with yourself. The second thing is remember your worth. Now, once an individual has found his or her worth in Christ, that is pretty much all you need. I'm going to wrap up by letting us know something rather shocking, which is the fact that every individual on this earth, you listening to me right now, you watching this, you can actually do without any of the persons you have in your life at the moment. I'm just going to rephrase that to make it more understandable. My point is, once you have God, once you have Jesus in your heart, you've accepted him, you have everything. Imagine this type of scenario, right? It's not what we want, but let's imagine your parents were gone, you lost your job, you lost friends, you're all alone, you lost your house. What I'm saying really is that if you actually want to think about this and be honest with ourselves, you can actually build yourself a new life without the persons you currently have around your life, in your current circle. Okay, so again, the whole point of this scenario is for us not to do not administer too much responsibility to one person in your life. Okay, your joy is dependent on you. Your joy, your happiness, you should honestly guard those very jealously. They're dependent on you and nothing else. Never give yourself that external factor which affects your emotions so much so that you're disappointed and you're crying for days and days and months. In some cases, there are actually people who are hurt for so long that is simply because you gave out yourself too much, or because you had not realized your worth even before you went into that relationship. So that's really all I had for us, guys. Remember that emotions come and go, right? After 1 hour, whatever you're actually feeling right now, listening to this, in the next hour, you may just be feeling differently. My point is, we have a lot of mood swings. So how you feel today is not how you're going to feel for the rest of your life. So yep, do not attach too much value to individuals, especially those who do not deserve it. Find your worth in Christ and you will be established. Thank you all so very much. If you've watched up until this end and you are a returning subscriber, you are super amazing. You already know. If you are new and you've watched me up until now, please subscribe. I'm not sure I've said this before, but it only costs $3.99. Please remember to subscribe, join the family, and I will definitely see you in my next video. Bye.